Maryland, a deep blue state.
Joining us now, our midterm political panel, Fox News contributors, Sean Duffy, Tammy Bruce, and Brian Brenberg. Good morning. So, Tammy, he's going to be in Maryland. Donald Trump is going to be in Ohio.
Yes.
Does this make a difference?
Well, it does. I mean, look, they can't hide him in the basement, so they're moving him effectively into those states that are there'll be no surprises. They've got a machine there that will completely protect him. All of that. Still, things do go wrong, though. But I do think that you're looking at, with Donald Trump, a much more focused, much more intentional individual at this point, as he always was. With Biden, I consider him like a mascot for the Democrats, right? He's the guy that just comes out. I just hope they don't put one of those rabbit heads on him at any point. I mean, this is a problem for the Democrats. They know it. And this began, if I may say, and by the way, this audience looks so freaking great. It's great to see the family. It's great to see the family. This is about American families. I think that is what Donald Trump represents. He's able to, reach out to that a lot more. But the Democrats are desperate. We see that in how they're deploying Biden. And at the same time, this started, as I wanted to mention, when Obama destroyed the Democratic Party in 2010. When that washout of Congress happened, that was their backbench.
Sure.
And he didn't care, and that's why now he has to come back. But it's the past. We want the future. We know what that looks like. The past was Donald Trump. The future, I think, is going to be Donald Trump
Brian,
as well.
the number one thing is the economy. But yet the Democrats mysteriously, I mean it, mysteriously, keep focusing on abortion. But this is that's your thing.
Well, I don't think it's mysterious when you have the track record they have, but it is fascinating to me that they never figured out anything on the message. You talk to an audience like this and you say, what's the biggest challenge you've got in your life right now? It's prices, it's fuel, and then it's crime, quality of life. That drives businesses away as well. So Democrats have gotten the messaging wrong the whole time. Now they're walking into this election saying, we have no closing argument and we can't speak the language of the electorate right now, which is economy and inflation.
And you know who knows tomorrow's going to be a big red wave? The mainstream media, and in particular, Saturday Night Live. Look at this.
This Tuesday, our midterm elections will determine the fate of our democracy, and let's just say, big yikes. What's going on? I guess the Democrats' message just ain't getting through. Plus, I'm over here talking to people who don't exist. That don't help much. I'm trying like hell, I promise. I'm on the Peloton every morning, tempting fate.
So if they're joking about it, Sean, they know that it's going to be a red day tomorrow. Historically, the opposition party to the president in the midterm always wins. Historically. The question for tomorrow is, how big?
So historically, that's right. But when you also have both houses of Congress of the party of the president, the win is that much bigger for the out-of-power party. And then if you have issues like this, it's even bigger. So I mean, this setup is ripe for a red wave. But again, the closing message on the economy is, I know you care about inflation. I know you care about gas prices. I know what we should do. Let's stop mining for coal. Let's stop drilling for oil. That's going to make things a lot better, right?
That's why it's such a big mistake that he made.
100%.
Because he's saying, in a candid moment, as if he had a sodium pentothal, I've stopped drilling. I've stopped everything.
Yeah.
And the point is, you want to do no harm to your party, so that's why you send him to Maryland. But I mean, he goes to Maryland and makes these dumb comments, and they ricochet through the TV screens of Americans who go, these guys are out of touch. They don't understand what we're going through. And by the way, you didn't get these people coffee this morning, Brian.
No.
What's up with that? I mean, come on.
Thanks for throwing us under the bus.
You're welcome.
Sean Duffy making his final appearance on Fox.
Should we order Chick-fil-A for everyone, too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Since we've got a live audience today, we're going to take questions for this trio right here. First question comes to us from that side, Landa. Landa, thank you very much. What's your question and who's it for?
Anyone. What are the chances that the Republicans will take back Congress realistically?
You mean talking about the Senate? The House looks pretty strong.
So I think the House is 100%. Republicans are going to win the House. How big is the majority going to be? And that matters because you got to have a majority that you can rule with, right? Because there's some unruly Republicans. But
They
the
only
Senate
have 5 seats to make up.
That's right. So the Republicans are going to make that happen. The Senate's the real issue, right? Can they win the Senate? I think Republicans are going to win at least with 51. There's some projections that say it could be a 54-seat majority, but that is a bloodbath for Democrats.
If I could mention that the Cook Political Report, and I think they're getting this right, they've upped the number of seats. It could be between 12 to 25 in the House.
That's low.
And some are saying that there would be 2 independents in the Senate. but the Republicans would still have the majority. So the mix could be interesting and different, but we'll see. But I think we're going to have the Senate too.
All right, let's go out to Stephen. Stephen, where are you? You're over in the second row there. All right, so Stephen, go ahead.
The polling that we see is all over the place. Is any of it realistic? Or which ones
We're
can
going to
we
find
believe?
out, right? I mean,
I think the main thing you can look at with polls are the big movements, the big shifts, the big numbers. We've always known that these small numbers between them, you can't really tell what's going on. I mean, Hillary was leading in 2016, but what you saw in the Fox News poll, as an example, was within that last week for Trump, independents had moved by double digits. That's when I knew he would win, even though the top number had her ahead. Yeah. So when you look at condition of the country, where the independents are going, what happened with Lee Zeldin here, moving double digits within a 2-month period of time. Those big movements you can trust.
So you look at the trend line. The trend line is towards Republicans, but also if you look at 2018, 2020, and I think this cycle, Republicans are underpolled, Democrats are overpolled. So there's a 2 to 5 point underpolling of Republicans. And if you factor that in and look at these polls, it looks like it's going to be great for Republicans.
Professor, let's get a question from Robert M. for you. Where is Robert M? I think he's on this side. Robert, what is your question?
Well, I was like, the election, I hope it turns out the way it should, and that would be like with the GOP majority. But if that happens, like, what are we talking with, as far as the economy, inflation, and mandates? And the big thing is like the mandates. What can we see happen before the 24 election? Like, can we see real change?
Yeah, can I jump in on this one? Because this is a key. And you look at what happens if you get divided government. The best part about divided government is not very much happens. And that's probably the best thing that can happen for the economy. But energy has to be the issue. If Republicans take the House and the Senate, they should be hammering that issue. And I would say that issue alone every day, day after day, because that's the biggest contrast between Democrats and Republicans. And if you want to solve inflation, there's nothing better than you can do than get oil production, gas production up, and unleash American energy, because it's world leading if we let it do that.
But Brian, would the president veto anything that the Republicans want?
So put them on record. This is a longer play, right?
I have a better idea. Leverage. You want anybody, if you get the Senate and you want anyone nomination confirmed, you do my energy plan.
You play hardball.
We use money, right? But also there's the Congressional Review Act. So the House, if it's Republican in the House and the Senate, they can go back and look at administration action and pull those back with just a simple majority vote in both chambers. So that's a big deal if you have a Republican majority.
It helps to have a congressman on the panel.
And how about a round of applause for this panel?